on the extreme, right? Where it's kind of like maybe a life or death situation. When do you step in? Do you step in? Do you risk your own life? Do you risk your own well-being? That was the extreme I wanted to get to at the end of the video, end of the topic. But again, like you just brought up privacy, like there's a balance between privacy, right? Trying to keep minding your own business and keep them private, and then letting somebody else have their own privacy, right? Their own
And
relationship, their own household, whatever. They have their own privacy, right? They have the
and
right to their
and
own privacy.
and to add to that, it's not like I said, it's not necessarily about losing a friend, but at least be aware that you can lose a friend if you speaking up and you're being totally honest with them. Just know that you can, and you have to accept that. Like that's how I feel. Like I feel like I have lost a lot of friends, and I feel like some people don't agree with what I have to say. But at the end of the day, I can't worry about other people. I got to worry about what is right for everyone. So you gotta be willing to lose friends and family members. You gotta be able to lose things in life by speaking the truth and what you feel is right. And I mean, not saying that everything you say is right, but I mean, people do know right from wrong, so they can pretty much figure out the difference.
Right. And so just like you just said, like it went back to the truth thing. We kind of went back to our last video to where you're telling somebody what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And that's going to rub
True,
people the wrong way, depending on
true.
them. And that's when you can lose people. That's when you can lose friends and shit like that. But yeah, so and that kind of goes into the next thing. Are there limits? What are the limitations? How how little do you turn or ignore a situation, right? If you see a situation that could be better, like you said, you can be friendly and give some advice, like, hey, I think you can do this better, whatever it is. It ain't got to be a relationship. It ain't got to be you raising your kids. It can just be anything, right? You observe something going on with somebody, and you think you have a better solution or a better idea how to do it, and you voice that opinion friendly, right? Friendly, and you know, can you pry too much? Yeah, absolutely. And then you kind of got to know the other person to know
Yeah,
their limits. What
I
are
was just
they
about to say
comfortable
that.
with?
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that. Like I was about to say, like, you know what type of friend you're dealing with, anyways. Like, you know if you have a like everybody know their friends that they have. So you have a close-minded friend, you have a friend that think this way or think that way. But at the end of the day, a true friend, I feel like I don't know the definition of a true friend, but what I feel that is, I feel like a true friend is gonna be willing to accept the truth. I don't care. I mean, it depends on how you deliver it to them. But at the end of the day, you can't focus on how something is said. You got to focus on what is being said. And I feel like a lot of times people, when people try to speak out or be truthful or say things that can help everyone, the first thing people do is attack them with their past or say you just like at the end of our topic going to be like practicing what you preach. But it necessarily just because someone is saying what's right, that don't mean you immediately attack them. If anything, you should attack the message. I mean, it doesn't matter how that person is living or how the next person is living. It's about what is being said, and I think a lot of people miss the message instead of just focus on what the message who is saying the message, and that's how I feel about that.
right. And that's a great point. Like you just got to know the other person, and you kind of got to play into that. Are they a good listener? Depending on what you say, like how are they going to take it, type stuff. So yeah. And then pushing, yeah, you can easily, depending on the topic, depending on how sensitive it is or serious it is, you can lose that other person when you're trying to help them, right? You can lose that other person, hit the wrong nerve or whatever. And like you said, you might lose some friends, or they might push you away so much that now they're worse than what they were before, right? So something to think about. Um, and then since we've said all these things, right? Or let's go into like worst case scenario, right? You see some bad stuff in public, or not even bad, like not even real bad. You just see something, right, uncomfortable to you in public. You just walking through a mall or something like that, and you see a loud argument between a couple or something, like loud. What do you do? Do you mind your own damn business, keep walking, or do you try to, maybe observe or whatever, like, kind of see if it gets physical, if it gets crazy, you know, maybe somebody got hurt and maybe a small vehicle accident or something like that. I see it all the time, especially out here in Texas, man. People getting all kinds of crazy vehicle accidents, or like, need help. Their car died or something like that, and they hit something. Do
Let's
you
take
just drive by? Do you worry about yourself? Do you try to help
let's
them?
let's
Like, what are
let's
the
take it
limits?
here. Like, do you believe in snitches get stitches? Do you believe in that?
What do you mean? Do I believe it? Do I believe it happens, or do I believe
No,
in
do
keeping
you
my
do
mouth
you
shut?
do you honor that?
Do I honor it? It
Yeah.
depends. It depends.
Basically
Because I
saying
think
if
that's a
you
case by case
basically
thing. I don't. I'm
basically
not gonna. I'm
ba-
gonna be
basically
honest. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I hold that to a high degree, high standard, and if I see something wrong, I ain't gonna say nothing now. Because if there's a situation that calls for it, and something needs to happen, I'm
but
gonna say something. I'm gonna go get the
don't
help,
but
and it's gonna happen.
don't all situations call for that though? Like I don't think necessarily matters the severity of it. I think if someone didn't do something, I don't think they should go down for
Well,
it. And
so no. With that, so I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, can we resolve it at the lowest level, right? Kind of like in the military, you want to resolve it at the lowest level. You don't want to go straight to sergeant major and first sergeant, and then shit rolls downhill and it gets worse than what it is. If you can solve it at the lowest level, cool. There's no reason to go all the way up here when you don't need to. So that's what I mean by that. Like it's gonna get addressed, and we're gonna try to fix it at the lowest level. It don't need to go
if you
all the way up here.
if you see a murder, if you see a murder right now, what's the normal thing to do? Not
So
what's people doing. Not what the world became now, but what's the normal thing to do? If someone got killed, what's a normal thing for the next person to
like
do?
you just said, if a murder just happened right now in front of me, what would I do? I'm not everybody else. I'm not nothing crazy.
But
I'm
not
always
you,
got this. I always got this. So
not
that's what
you
I'm
though,
saying. Like,
not
when I see
you.
something go
I'm saying
down,
what is the normal person supposed to do? Not just
I
coming
don't
from
know.
your perspective. Like
What's the
what is
normal
us?
person supposed to do?
What's that person as a human supposed to do anyways? If you believe in justice and you believe in equality, what are you supposed to do in that incident in that situation?
So depending on what you're talking about, you're talking about
Any
why I'm
situation.
watching it happen or it already happened. What are you saying? Did I see it happen? Do I know who did it?
If you in a situation where you seen something, not necessarily you, but I'm just using you as an example. But what I'm saying is what are we supposed to do as humans? If we see something wrong, what we supposed to do as humans?
Stop it.
Supposed
That's
to
why I
stop
got
it,
this. That's what
stop
I'm
it, or
talking
what?
about.
Stop it or what? Or
Or
if you
what? If I can
see,
stop it, I'm gonna stop it.
but if you can't stop it and end results and you've seen the whole thing, what are you supposed to do?
Do I know who did it? Do I know what vehicle
All,
they're in?
you
Do I
know
know
all
all
the
these
facts. You
details?
know all the facts.
Then I'm gonna go get them first before anything.
You okay?
But if they get away, some crazy shit happens, they get away, and I got all the details, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna go to the police. Hey, they were driving this, they did this, they shot these many people. This person is dead right here in front of me. Blah blah blah. Whatever the
So
situation is,
basically
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
tell
do the
them.
normal thing. You basically gonna do the normal thing, and
That's
basically,
not, I don't know, it's not the normal thing because you don't ever see it happen.
yeah. Just because you don't see it happen, don't mean it's normal. The normal is not normal anymore. So we all know that. Like so,
That don't make no sense right there. That don't make no
that makes
sense what you
perfect
just said.
sense. Like what is normal now is not really normal.